Ah, sorry, I'm so late tonight. I wanted to start sooner, but I already spent so much time waiting for this space-time distortion to spawn. And, well, I already spent all that time waiting, so I wasn't gonna waste it. This, of course, was a space-time distortion that took the full 40 minutes to spawn. And, well, I'm not gonna waste the opportunity, so I'm gonna get this done first before I hunt for Mime Jr. You understand, right? You know, the last one of these I did, I completely forgot to upload it. To archive it. So, it got archived a day late. Whoops. And speaking of forgetting, I'm pretty sure I forgot to show you guys this. A couple days ago, I got myself a Hundo Dynamax Hoot Hoot. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for this STDs to spawn. We're gonna jump in real quick, and then we're gonna get back to the hunt. I have done so many of these. The hell was that sound? You know, maybe I'll get lucky enough and get the alpha I need on camera. Or maybe, God forbid, I'll actually do that and then fail it again. You're not alpha. I do need you, but alpha. I need two of you, alpha. And also, I do jump in here and grab whatever items there are. Oh, by the way, last time at the end... You're not alpha. Ooh, if you were alpha. I don't need you anymore, but still. Last time at the end, I mentioned that the following day, I should be able to sleep in, relax the next day, because I got nothing to do. Nope, never mind. The following day, I got called into work. Because my coworker got sick, because her daughter got sick. So I had to fill in. You know, I did the math. The amount of pay that I should get for my next paycheck is going to pay off my entire credit card bill this month entirely. I already spent all the money I made lately. Wait, what? All the money I made lately? I already spent it all. All of it. Hey, some of it wasn't my fault, some of it was gas money and food, but let's face it, most of it was my fault. Most of it went to junk I don't need. And I will not continue to learn my lesson. Where's the third spawn? Am I crazy, or is there two? No, wait. So there's one Cranidos, there's one Bastiodon. Where's the third one? Am I going cuckoo? Wait a second. 1, 2. Never mind, there are all 3. Okay, so nothing for me here. Let's continue to hunt for Mime Jr. Okay, so first, we needed to talk about something serious. Something that was announced literally yesterday. Actually, was it yesterday? If it wasn't late yesterday, then it was early today. PlayStation has announced that they are going to discontinue physical media. Physical games will no longer be sold as of January 2028. I want you to really hear me when I say this. Fuck PlayStation. We already saw the writing on the wall when GTA 6 was announced to release with no physical game. And I was thinking to myself, well, I guess I can wait a couple more months, a year at worst, for a physical release. You know, I actually was planning to maybe skip the PlayStation 5, because it's already been out for like over 5 years and I still don't have one. I was perfectly willing to wait until PlayStation 6, which is rumored to come out next year. And, if I must, I'm also willing to wait for a PlayStation 6 Pro. But, now that they have announced that they will no longer be producing physical games, PlayStation, you are dead to me. If this truly is the case, if this is never changed, I will never buy a PlayStation again. And not only that, I was actually thinking, alright, the hell with PlayStation, I guess I'll go back to Xbox. I was originally Xbox a very long time ago. And then I hear Xbox is planning the same thing. Man, no physical games, I ain't buying. If the future is all digital, I will never buy games again. PlayStation and Xbox will be dead to me. All future games on consoles will be dead to me. I will only make one exception, though. And that is Nintendo. But, hear me out. If everything gaming goes full digital, I will literally not buy any more games. I will buy no more, except for a handful of exceptions. The top one being Pokemon. Look, the FOMO and the sunk cost fallacy. What? Yeah. Yo, I've dedicated too much time to Pokemon. If Pokemon games in the future are all digital, I kind of have no choice but to continue. Pokemon being the number one exception. The other exceptions are if a brand new Mario or Zelda game are just too hype and I have to play it. But yeah, they are absolutely killing physical games. Preservation, you own nothing. But you have to also keep this in mind, folks. If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing. Now, I'm not advocating for you to break the law, because it's technically against the law, but how is this not against the law, That you pay for a digital license and they can take it away maybe like a decade later. Technically, and I feel like this is absolute bullshit, whenever you do the, the agreement, you have to check it off before you can purchase anything digitally. Technically, it does say that, they have the right to strip anything you buy away from you. But I feel like that's absolute bullshit. I feel like those terms and agreements are absolute bullshit. Because, one, they know nobody's going to read through them. And two, you cannot do anything unless you check it, which is absolute bullshit. So if I want, God forbid, if I want to buy a digital game in the future, and I do not want it taken away from me, I have no choice. I have to check the terms and agreement box before I'm allowed to purchase. I cannot purchase without checking that box, which is absolute bullshit. So, more and more, I am just waiting and watching the gaming industry collapse. Like, actually, it is straight up collapsing. If the prices going up wasn't a huge indication, then this should be as well. Prices going up, no physical media. Yo, people are just not gonna game anymore. Gaming will absolutely collapse. So, PlayStation is dead to me. I will never buy a PlayStation console again. You hear that? Hiroki? I will never buy your gaming consoles again. Not unless you go back on your word and you give me a physical console. Wait. A console that allows physical gaming. And you sell me physical copies of the game. If not, I'm done with y'all. And you know what? As shitty as it is, I can live perfectly fine without playing the brand new hype-ass games. As much as that would suck, I can live with it. You know? I, among a lot of other gamers out there who are pissed about this news, we'll just work on our gaming backlog. I mean, for God's sake, most of my time is spent on Pokemon anyways. Just imagine all the other games that I never even touched. But if the future we're heading towards really is 100% digital, everything, that does mean buy whatever physical games you can now. Because they're not going to print anymore, and the ones that are on the market, like, you know, older games, the ones that are on the market, that's it. That's all there is. And you know scalpers are going to pick those up, resell them for astronomical, absurd prices. So any physical games you want, especially if it's older games, buy them now. Hell, I may actually do that, despite my credit card bill being through the roof this month. Yeah, I'm just waiting for gaming to collapse. Let's face it, we know what's coming. If maybe not guaranteed, but a very high likelihood it will. Gaming as an industry is on the brink of collapse, and at this point, we're just here to watch. We're just here to watch it all burn down. Not only do I refuse to play live service games, I will also refuse to buy a console and download all of my games. No. People are making the argument just buy a PC and game on Steam. And it's like, yeah. At this point, there is no competition. No reason why you would not do that in comparison. So, fuck Sony. Fuck the direction the gaming industry is heading towards. I'm just gonna watch it all burn to the ground. I mean, let's face it, we probably have enough Pokemon anyways. Damn, what a shame. And I wanted to play GTA 6 as well. But the news that that game is coming out digital only for now. The prices going up for the PlayStation 5. And the news that in the future, no more physical games at all. My hype for GTA 6 has died down completely. Because at this point, I know I will not be playing the game, so what is there to be even excited for? It's not like a film, you know, where if I'm not able to watch it right away, I will be able to watch it later. No, this is just, I won't be able to play it, period. I mean, I could always wait for the PC release. I don't know if my computer is actually... Oops. I don't know if my computer is actually strong enough to play it. I'll be honest. And I said... Oop. Oh, that's right. I did get knocked out earlier. I did die earlier, so that explains where my berries went. I don't know if my PC can run GTA 6, because I don't know anything about my PC. Like, I don't know the strength of this computer. I don't know any of that. I don't know what it's going to take to run GTA 6 on PC, and I don't know if I have that. Ugh. What is wrong with the world? Huh? Remember when gaming was fun? It was a hobby? But now... I don't even know what to say. So, PlayStation is dead to me. Xbox has been dead to me for a very long time. Yeah, the only exception is going to be Nintendo, but that exception is going to be very thin. That exception will only be for Pokemon, and in very dire cases... Wait, I should not be... In very dire cases, Mario and Zelda. I guess Kirby too, but Kirby doesn't release as often as those two. But Kirby, not really. You know, I can live just fine not playing the newest Kirby game. It would suck, but that's just the state of the world. But yeah, if that really is the future we're heading towards, all digital. Really, the one and only exception I would ever make, if I had to pick just one, would be Pokemon, and that's it. Now, I know people are going to make the argument, well, you're part of the problem when it comes to Pokemon's lazy and lackluster games, because you just keep paying them for the shitty products that they keep on putting out. It's like, yeah, you're right. You're right. But that's how they get you, you know? The event distributions. I gotta have me those. Completing my living decks. Updating with all the brand new Pokemon. I gots to do that. The new shiny Pokemon. I want them. Yeah. If I... if this really is the bleak future we're heading towards, and if I really do not ever buy a game from a gaming company ever again, the one exception will actually just be Pokemon, and that's it. That is actually it. I'm trying to think, what other exceptions would there be? Not even for GTA, you know? If we ever get a GTA 7, like 20 years from now. Well, at that point, I would just upgrade my computer. We're talking 20 years from now if we get a GTA 7. At that point, I'll just get a new computer, a strong enough computer to run that. Because, yes, everything you buy on Steam is digital, but at least you can just re-download it. Steam ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Hell, PlayStation shut down the stores for the PlayStation 3 and what, the Vita? So now, all those digital games have been sent to the ether. You know, all the digital games that never got a physical release, all the third-party, small, indie games that were on PlayStation that never got a physical disc, yeah, all of those are gone. Completely gone. Unless the devs want to put it on Steam or put it somewhere else, all those games are gone. So you might be asking, would you really buy the brand new future Nintendo console just to play Pokemon? And that's it? Literally only Pokemon on your future Nintendo console. Yeah, yeah. Because unlike uh unlike Pokemon, I can play GTA or any other game on computer. Pokemon is super locked to Nintendo consoles. Sure, I can emulate it, but I can't, you know, swap between games, connectivity, and whatnot. Well, actually, Smash would be an exception too. Ha! Pokemon and Smash Bros. If we get more games. Because at the moment, no Xbox game interests me. PlayStation games, aside from GTA, well, any future Mortal Kombat games will also be on Steam as well. Uh, you know, games like the PlayStation Spider-Man and Wolverine, it's like, well, it'll suck, but I can live without playing those games. It'll suck really badly, but I'll live just fine. What other games? How long does it take before new Persona games come onto Steam? Because if I'm not buying the next PlayStation console, I won't be able to play Persona 6. How long until Persona drops on Steam? Well, that'll be an issue, but it is what it is. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Persona, we got official news that Netflix is going to be developing a live-action Persona series. Why? Literally, why? Just the idea of a live-action Mera fills me with dread. But yeah, it's like, why? Because literally everything will be CGI. The personas will be CGI. The palaces will be CGI. Sure, they may create some practical sets, but majority of it, majority of it, they will have to touch up in post with VFX. The boss fights will be CGI. The shadows will be CGI. Like literally CGY. But we're getting a live-action Persona series. It's literally just an announcement, if even. So we don't know literally anything. We don't know the casting yet. We don't know the filming yet. We don't know the plot. Because we don't know the plot, I've seen some ideas thrown around that they're gonna make a combination of everything Persona. We're gonna get Joker, who goes to... shit. What was the name of the school again? We're gonna get Joker, who goes into the TV world with Teddy, going to, crap, what was the name of the school again? Oh shit, I really can't remember the name of the school. The Persona 3 school. Oh crap. Ha! I played that game not long ago, too. But yeah, I'm hearing ideas thrown around that we're gonna get a collision, like an absolute mix of all the Persona games. Well, maybe not 1 and 2. Oh my god, imagine a live-action Teddy. That art is cursed. I'm sure you've seen it before, a live-action Teddy. What about a live-action Igor? Are they gonna cast someone hot to play the Velvet Room attendants? Except for Lavenza. Oh dear, who's gonna be cursed to play Kamoshida? But I'll check it out when it comes out. I'll check it out. See how good or bad it is. How faithful it is. I mean, from what I hear, because I didn't watch it yet myself, I don't know if I ever will watch it, because I'm not a fan of the source material. As in, I've never watched the source material. From what I hear, they did do a good job with the One Piece live action. Pretty faithful with that. So, who knows, maybe they actually will be faithful for the Persona series. I'll believe it when I see it. I should be able to stay home tomorrow, but I'm kind of preparing myself to be called in the morning to go into work at the new place. Oh, right. Let me also tell you guys about some bullshit today. Alright, so, let me start by retelling you guys a story, rehashing a story to you guys. A couple weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, I'm gonna retell the story of how my sister told me she was pregnant, or probably pregnant. We don't know yet, it's still a little too early to know 100%. Out of curiosity, I'm gonna go and check this out. What if there really is a red Gyarados there, So, a couple weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, my sister, well, actually more like my mom, I was sitting in this very room. My mom called me to, like, come, I have something to show you. And I'm just like, what now? I just sat down. I'm doing my own things. What do you want? So I was not happy. So I walked upstairs, and my mom brings me into my sister's room, specifically her bathroom. Hold on. Okay, specifically her bathroom. And in her bathroom was a big garbage bag filled with trash that she has been wanting me to throw out. And I thought that's what I was being brought up there for. I thought my mom was going to tell me something special, like, you get the honor of throwing away your sister's garbage. But no, what she actually brought me up there for was to point to the objects on the counter, and those objects being pregnancy tests that showed a positive. So that's a story. Why did I tell you this story? Well, it's because that garbage bag, I threw it out today. That garbage bag was not thrown out until today. My family wanted me. God damn it, that's not what I want. You couldn't at least have the courtesy to be a Mime Jr.? My family was hell-bent on me taking that bag of garbage, putting it in the car, and then throwing it out at work. I don't exactly know why we didn't just throw it away at home when it was garbage day. Maybe because my sister used a black garbage bag instead of a see-through one. Which I think is like the norm nowadays. But yeah, my family was really adamant on me taking that big bag of trash to the car, and then while at work, throwing it away. And I'm thinking to myself, why did you guys want me to do it so badly? You guys had weeks to throw it away. This whole time, I was at the new job, so I wasn't here to throw it away. Why didn't anyone do it for weeks? You know, it's like, one, why didn't you get your husband to throw away your garbage? Why did you want me to do it? And two, why did you want me to do it, throw it away at work? Like, why didn't you do it? My sister is very scrawny, bony, weak, and it was a pretty big garbage bag, so she quote-unquote, wouldn't have been able to pick it up herself, but let's face it, if she really wanted to, she would have been able to. My mom didn't do it, because, of course she wasn't going to. They say Dad refused to do it, which isn't the story Dad told me. Dad said he didn't even know that was a bag of garbage. And I asked, why did you guys wait weeks for me to do it? Why didn't you guys do it yourself? And why didn't you ask, like, our coworker who comes in once a week? If you claim that bag of garbage is so heavy, why didn't you ask him to do it when he was here? Why didn't you ask him to get it from the car and throw it away in the mall's garbage room? And my mom was just like, are you out of your mind? Like, we can't ask him to go to our car and throw away your sister's garbage. Are you out of your mind? Of course we can't ask him to do that. It's like, why not? You know, it's not like... If you're wondering what the garbage even is, it's not like it's stinky, you know? It's not like how garbage turns into a sour smell in the summer heat. No, you want to know what that garbage bag was? It was filled with blind boxes. At least I'm pretty sure, because my sister buys an absurd number of them. She throws away the little boxes that the toys come in. So inside that garbage bag was more than likely just a bunch of blind boxes. So it wasn't something stinky and foul for him to pick up and throw away. It was just full of cardboard. And I guess that's why she uses a black garbage bag instead of a clear one to, you know, hide her shame. So it's like, what would have been the issue asking him to help you take a big bag of garbage out of the car and throw it away? If you clearly weren't going to do it yourselves, you waited weeks for me to do it. And then, my mom even had the nerve. Because the bag of garbage was sitting in the car all day. I could have gone out and thrown it out at any time during the day. But I didn't. I didn't throw it out until after we closed, when we got in the car to leave. And my mom even had the nerve to be like, you could have thrown this out earlier. You could have thrown this out at any time. And I'm just like, are you serious? Oh yeah, it's my fault. My fault, I didn't throw it out sooner. Now I have to waste time to throw it away. It's like, what the fuck? Not only did they want me to carry it to the car, which I clearly didn't, so somebody else did that. If she didn't muster the strength to do it herself, then probably her husband did. Because I highly doubt Dad did it. And then they wanted specifically me to throw it away. Now, this may not sound like a big deal, and honestly it's not, but the fact that they waited weeks... Well, you know what? No, I'm not gonna risk it. In case I catch these Mime Juniors in a different order, and then if a shiny alpha shows up, then I reload the game and then it doesn't show up. Like, they could have thrown it out weeks ago, but no, they waited weeks for specifically me to do it. That's some foul shit right there. You know what'll happen if I wait weeks for my family to do something? Like, I tell them to do it, and then... Wait. Where was I going with this again? You know what? Just mark it. Just pin it. I don't even know where my train of thought was, because I was about to say, if my family asked me to do something and I didn't do it for weeks, you know how they would, you know what they would do? They would yell at me. And then, to make things worse, because everything just goes up shit's creek. While throwing out the garbage, I spotted Dad smoking next to the car. Next to the brand new car. And I knew, let's face it, we all know, I especially know, if I wasn't there because I had a big bag of garbage to throw away, if I wasn't there, Dad would have immediately entered the car after he smoked. You see, remember how I mentioned the story about my dad? He got a new car, and the plan is that new car, me and him will share it? Well, if he wants me to drive that car, it ain't enough for me simply for him to not smoking in it. What? It's not enough for me to... Oh my god, how do I say this? It isn't enough for me for him to simply not smoke in it. He can't even go into that car after he smoked. Hell no. You want me to drive that car? That car better be smoke-free. No exceptions. I don't want no smoke in it. I don't want you to smoke in it. I don't want you to smoke. I don't want you to get into it after smoking. If you want me to drive that car, you not smoking anywhere near it, period. And I just know, if I didn't intervene today, that already would have been screwed up. He smokes once in that car, I'm not driving it. I am not getting into that car. I refuse. You would have bought a brand new car for me to use for nothing. You smoke one time in that car, I am not getting into that. Not at all. Period. I don't care you just spent tens of thousands of dollars on that car. Just for me, smoke one time in it, I'm not setting foot in it. No ifs, ands, or buts. You smoke one time in the car, that car is all yours, because I am not driving it. Ever. You know what another thing I notice about newer cars? More modern cars? The AC is shitty. Because yesterday, and ooh, especially today, it was hot. Today was hot. My dad's brand new car and my mom's somewhat modern car, 8 years ago. Yeah, the AC is pretty ass. The AC kind of blows, and not in a good way. No pause. Like, the AC just ain't strong enough. And then, earlier today, getting home from work, my mom's sitting in my old shitty car. The AC popping. AC lit. My AC only has 4 levels, and on 2, yo, airs that bitch out. The AC, yo, that's where it's at right there. Old car ACs, that's where it's at. New cars, the AC absolutely sucks. Even at 2, it cooled down the entire car. Imagine if I set it to 4. Newer cars, though? Hell no. It's absolute trash. And you know what else I thought about? Now, hear me out. You know how in the winter, cars have seat warmers? Well, why don't in summer cars have seat coolers? Sure, you may have AC blowing on your face in the summer heat, but your back is still going to be sweaty, touching the hot car seat. Why is there no option to cool this car seat? You know, keep your back cool. Why is that not an option? When I brought this up to a friend of mine, he suggested, well, that's probably dangerous, somehow. Oh, as if warming the seat ain't dangerous. Cooling it down is deadly. It's not even an option of how lethal it could be. But I'm just thinking, I'm sure we can find a way to work around that. If working in a way to cool the seat is dangerous, I'm sure we would be able to find some sort of leeway, some sort of workaround in today's age. Like, come on now. Why don't cars have seat coolers for the summer? You know, when we have seat warmers for the winter. And I'll get to the shows in just a moment, because we have Spider Noir and Amazing Digital Circus to go over. But one last thing. My friend in our group chat, he brought up, holy shit, it is hot today. Again, I'm gonna go check that Gyarados. It'd be cool to see a red one. Yeah, he said, holy shit, it's so hot outside. What the fuck? And then I told him, summer is better than winter, eh? You guys in this group chat, y'all like summer better than winter. Ah, summer is better than winter, eh? And, you know, I kind of don't understand my friend's mentality sometimes. I'm the stupid one. And I'm supposed to be the stupid one. So, he replied to that by saying, but you also don't like winter. What season do you like? And I'm just saying, I never said I don't like winter. No heat, no pollen, no pests. I love winter. I love the cold way more than the heat. I don't like the heat. I like the cold. So winter, yo, sign me up for winter. No spiders, no house centipedes, no mosquitoes, no pollen. Sign me up. So he replied, but in winter you talk about having to shovel the snow because you're a man and your sister can't because she's a pussy. And I'm just thinking to myself, so me liking winter means I must like everything that comes with it? So in order for me to like winter, I need to also like shoveling the snow? I need to like my sister not offering to help? I need to like my sister telling me to my face, I don't need to help you shovel the snow. I'm a girl. I don't need to do that, because I'm a girl. I have to like that? Like, I don't understand my friend's train of thought sometimes. I can like something, but there can also be aspects I don't like about it, right? You know? I can like eating a California roll, but I don't like cucumbers. I can... Well, that may not be the best example. I can like... What can I like with things I don't like? Uh... Oh, I guess I can like certain movies, but there can also be aspects about the film I don't like. Right? And I just replied to him saying, bitch, this is like me saying, but you like summer, and yet you're complaining it's so hot outside. Oh, also real quick. So I got some more family lore from my mom today. I mentioned last time about how grandma died 30 years ago. And yeah, mom revealed that grandma did die. Uh, Literally just a couple months before my sister was born. So my sister never even got to meet her. Damn, that's kind of rough. You know, grandma didn't live long enough to see she had any grandchildren. And now she has four? Well, maybe five. My dad does have another brother he never talks to. And I think that brother has a daughter, a cousin that lived with us once, and we never heard from her again. To this day, I don't know where she is. Nobody talks about her. Nobody brings her up. Yeah, I have no idea where she is. But yeah, Grandma never lived long enough to see any of her grandchildren. My sister being the first. But, this was already something I pretty much knew. Grandpa didn't like my sister either. He didn't like his first grandchild. I take a wild guess why. Well, there's actually many reasons. At the time, still, Dad and Grandpa weren't on friendly terms. He also wasn't very pleased that his first grandchild was not a grandson, as if my parents had any way to control that. Well, I mean, technically, if you want to be completely literal, they could have aborted my sister and tried again until they had me. But yeah, Grandpa was not very friendly with Dad, and not very happy that his first grandchild was a granddaughter. According to my mom, he kinda kicked them out, claiming when my sister was literally a toddler, an infant, she was too noisy. too annoying. Y'all need to move out. And yeah, that does explain why all these years my mother has never been too friendly to my grandfather. He never treated her nicely, so she doesn't offer the same courtesy. She will at most, like, pay for the dinner from time to time whenever we do have a family dinner together, but that's about it. You know what's funny is I told my mom, you can use the same line when sister has her first kid. Too loud. Y'all need to move out. No, not the baby's too loud. You, daughter, are too loud. You need to get out. Take your kid with you. Obviously, I'm joking. My parents aren't going to do that. If anything, my dad, if the baby is crying, my dad would cradle the baby and comfort it until it stops crying before kicking us out, or kicking them out. Anyways, enough yapping, let's get on with the shows. Because I'm sure no Shaman Feeding has to go to sleep and go to work. But, too bad for him, I'm going to go over Spider Noir first. Remember, we finished with From. From is over. So right now, the only shows I have to go over are Spider Noir and The Amazing Digital Circus. Okay, so let's begin. They're cleaning up the office. This is episode 3, by the way. They're cleaning up the office after Silvermane's goons completely trashed it. Robbie notices the big guy from before is also in the photo with Flint and Addison. So he goes off to find and question him. Silvermane walks in. He comes in peace and wants to hire Ben. He wants Ben to find out who sent Addison to kill him. He thinks it's a rat working for him. Rules out Flint, despite him acting strangely lately. Also, it's pretty funny that he never notices Ben Reilly and the Spider sound very much alike. They have the same tone of voice. He doesn't ever figure that out. Well, there's only so many voices in the universe. Some of them are bound to sound similar. Alright, so Silvermane pays them, and Ben notices that he marks all his bills. There's a little red dot on all the money that Silvermane uses. And Ben is also able to figure out that the money Cat paid is also marked, because Cat also has ties with Silvermane. Okay, so time for some detective work. Ben goes to the hospital posing as an officer to talk to the cops who were at the Silvermane ambush for info. So it turns out that the orders for the cops from the chief of police came straight from the mayor himself. And then we get this meme scene. Like, I've already seen this scene be memed on, we get the meme scene of Ben eating and telling a woman the payphone is broken, right before he uses it to talk to Janet for a location. I lied. Get out! That I literally saw that on Instagram. Don't bother, the payphone's broken. Uses a payphone. I lied. Such a funny scene that they really did not need to They really didn't need to include in the episode, but I'm so glad they did. Just a funny throwaway scene. Robbie goes back to the poor camp neighborhood area, where a bunch of enforcers, by order of the mayor, attack. The best scene. Did you watch the show yet? I know I'm late to watching the show. I'm actually very much enjoying the show so far. Yeah, Robbie takes photos as the homeless get beaten by batons. Lonnie! Yes, his name is Lonnie, who could have guessed? Lonnie gets attacked, but is unfazed. He even grows what looks like scales. Flint also comes out, and they both beat some cop ass. All being photographed by Robbie. No, you haven't? Oh, then I'm spoiling everything for you. So Ben goes to see Carmody. Remember that guy from the first episode? It turns out Kat is not his wife. Who could have figured? He was just trying to make money off the scandal. You know, mayor cheats on wife during an election. Yeah, Ben's senses warn him that they're being watched. So he escapes through the back door off-screen. Ben goes to see Kat to tell her about Silvermane, and asks if she knows anything on who tried to kill him. All she does is warn him to be careful and not get himself killed, being involved with Silvermane. Well, Ben meets with Winston. They will work together as long as Ben gets paid. Robbie tells Ben and Janet about Lonnie Lincoln. You know, the big black dude from the last episode. Lonnie Lincoln. You know who Lonnie Lincoln is? Tombstone. So Robbie tells them about Lonnie, as well as Flint being there. Remember how Flint was missing? Technically missing for the past 2 episodes? As it turns out, they were all POWs. The photo was of the day they were rescued. And also, the pictures Robbie took of them may be his ticket back into the Bugle. So, Ben and Robbie go into the dark room. Ben knows more about this, but he isn't saying what. Remember, Ben was also there during the war, but he was, you know, like at a different group. Shit, what's the word? A different posse? Crap, I don't know the word. Spittoon, that's it. He was with a different spittoon. Anyway, so Ben tells Robbie Silvermane hired him to find the rat. And the rat is Cat Hardy. You know, meeting with the mayor, so then he ordered the ambush, close with Flint, and Clint is close to Addison. He doesn't want what happened to Ruby to happen to Cat. But Ben has a plan. He needs to meet with Vera Addison. As he meets with Vera, Ben is followed by one of Silvermane's goon. Rather poorly, might I say. Not discreet at all. He gets pickpocketed by Frankie, distracting him, and he loses sight of Ben. So Ben tells Vera she's in danger. He also straight up tells her that the rat is Cat Hardy. Well, now Vera knows, meaning that she will be in danger. You know, she was the widow of Addison, and she will absolutely be tortured for the information of who the rat is, now that she knows. So Ben tells her, now that she knows, you should leave. Like right now, you should get out of town. But Vera knows that Ben is only here for Kat, not her. So she offers him more like an ultimatum than a deal. You pay me $1,000 and I'll leave right now. Or I will tell Silvermane immediately. So Ben now needs to muster up $1,000 to give to Vera. Remember, this was like the mid to late 80s when the show was set. So $1,000 is like $1 million now. Hell, Ben only charged $10 for his detective services. So $1,000, that is insane money to have back then. It is chump change nowadays, though. What a world we live in. So Ben goes to see Silvermane to tell him, whoever the rat is, don't be emotional when you find out. Well, that was really a scheme just to get close to where Silvermane is. Because Ben webs the balcony door so he can get back in later. Robbie sees Robert Howard pitches the story of Marco and Lincoln with powers. Howard also being the head of the Bugle, so no J. Jonah Jameson. Well, despite this being an amazing story, he's not getting his job back just yet. This story will also be anonymous. Poor guy. As it turns out, Robbie also used to write stories, do newspaper stories on the Spider, which I guess makes sense, you know? He knows Ben is the Spider, so Robbie would probably have, like, VIP access to taking his pictures and getting exclusive stories from him. Anyway, so Ben gives Frankie a job to play the role of him. The hell? Again with the Staravias. Yeah, he wants Frankie to do the Home Alone window shadow silhouette move. Because Silvermane's men are watching. They're watching him. They are watching him throughout the whole episode. So he wants Frankie to play him while Ben suits up and enters Silvermane's penthouse, using the webbed door from earlier so he can get in. And this is a really cool, like, decision that they made. Ben's mask, his spider mask, the eyes light up, making it a really cool shot. Really cool for the cameras. And then, because his suit is all black, he can turn off the lights for his eyes, and he will just completely blend in with the shadows. So Ben uses his senses, his spider sense, to be able to detect when the lock on the safe, like what combination's right, so he can open it. He opens it and he steals $1,000 for Vera. And also, he only stole 10. I swear to God, if it's another. I can't get away from these birds. It's another Staravia. He steals 10 $100 bills when Silvermane is completely stacked. He has stacks upon stacks. 10 $100 bills, he won't even notice are gone. Anyway, so Flint visits Kat and they lock lips. Sorry, Ben. Turns out she's already taken. Kat wants to run away together despite the danger of Silvermane. Flint agrees, but turns to sand again. And then he runs away, knowing that in his state, he can't have a normal life with Kat. Okay, so now Ben wants Frankie to do more. He wants Frankie to keep an eye on Cat at the alcove and report anything to him. By the way, Robbie's paper was totally rewritten to paint Flint and Lonnie as monsters. Alright, so Ben gives Vera the money so that she will leave. But Winston is watching. And Winston saw through the windows, literally the only window on the whole building, whose curtains are open, showing exactly who was inside. Ben, as he leaves, some people stop him, but it's actually not Silvermane's goons. These people tell Ben the mayor wants to talk to him. The mayor wants a way to contact the spider, and he knows Ben was always there at the right place at the right time to snap pictures of the spider. So the mayor wants Ben to give... Wait, what? The mayor wants Ben to give him contacts for the spider. Alright, after Ben met up with the mayor, Frankie tells Ben that Cat left for Penn Station like 10 minutes ago, so Ben has to follow. So Ben meets with Cat there, but was followed by Winston. So they get taken and they're driven off to where Silvermane is waiting. It turns out Winston already found out thanks to Vera. So Ben and Cat get taken to the middle of nowhere, where Silvermane is already there and graves are already dug. Vera is there too, and tells Silvermane, just blurs it out, the rat is Cat. Cat, though, says, no, it wasn't me. But Vera has proof, the $1,000. This was all Ben's idea, because Silvermane marks all his money. He marks everyone's money, like he pays everyone, and he marks everyone's money slightly differently. The money that Vera has is the same marking that Winston has. So now everyone believes that Winston is the rat. So Silvermane shoots Winston. He dies. He falls into one of the graves, or the only grave. Silvermane shoots the camera, implying he shot someone else. And the episode ends. I don't know. I highly doubt they're going to kill Ben or Cat, obviously. And unless he shot one of his own goons, I'm kind of predicting he shot Vera. Well, I guess I'll just check the Mime Juniors first. Okay. Ready for the amazing digital circus? I know you've been waiting for this. You know, I gotta say, one thing I like about the show is that it has moments that are very deep. You know, very, I guess, almost philosophical and deep. Like, it's not just a goofy kids cartoon, a colorful kids cartoon for, I don't know, 3-year-olds to just laugh and clap their hands at. Like, there actually are some deep moments in this. I like that. Sure, the brain rot, attention span destroyed kids won't care. They're gonna think, oh, this section's boring. Skip, skip, skip. But someone like me, I like those moments. Alright, so episode 3. We begin with our friends testing out Pomni's body's capability. She wants to see how long she can hold her breath for, despite these guys unable to die from oxygen deprivation. Oh. No, no, no. Get out of here, you. Ah, don't you just love the internet sometimes? Filled with nothing but bots? So yeah, she holds her breath, and despite not being able to die, she does still feel like she's dying because she has no air, and her face changes color. Like literally changes through the whole rainbow. First her face turns blue, then it turns purple, then it turns red, orange, yellow, green, back to blue. And the longer she holds her breath, the faster the color changes. By the way, this is just a random thought I had the other day. Don't you guys feel like the world we live in just has a failsafe built into it? And what I mean by that is color. You mix a bunch of colors together, it always turns brown. Like, always turns brown. Like a very yucky brown. You mix a ton of colors together, whatever combination it always turns out to be the same yucky brown. I don't know, it's just like a universal failsafe, preventing us to discover any new colors. Anyway, so yeah, that's Pomni's gimmick when she holds her breath. Turns out everyone else has their own gimmick too. We only hear this though. So for Pomni, she holds her breath, her face changes colors. Ragatha's hair changes, Kinger's body glows, but we don't know Jax's though, because he wants to keep it a mystery. He even proceeds to break the fourth wall, points to the camera, and asks the audience what we think his is. Alright, well, Kane gives them a brand new adventure. The Mystery of Mildenhall Manor. So this one is kind of like a Luigi's Mansion-esque adventure. But Zubul, once again, does not participate. You know, last episode I would have said this is suspicious, but this episode goes into it. Okay, so, our characters, they go to this haunted manor. Inside, they meet a ghost who first looks like Ghostbusters Slimer, with a Backrooms Smiler face, but then turns into a ghost looking like a Sonic Chow, with the personality of Casper, and this ghost is meant to help them. Pomni does get scared, to the point her eyes pop out, like literally. Very Looney Tunes cartoons kind of style, her eyes pop out. Only difference is, they don't go back in. Her eyes are just dangling out. Ew, disgusting. So the ghost gives them a choice between two doors. Normal and really scary. This is some shit out of Pennywise. You know? Not scary at all. Scary. Very scary. It's literally the same thing out of the first It movie. And then Jax sucks up the ghost with a vacuum, claiming, aren't we supposed to catch all the ghosts? It's... what? Did Egad give you that vacuum to suck up the ghost? Anyway, so Jax throws Gangle's mask to test which door to use. And then the door becomes a big mouth. Like, literally. And, am I missing something with Gangle? Her mask is lost and broken all the time, but then next episode, she just miraculously gets it back. Does Kane snap his fingers and then Gangle gets her mask back? Kind of like the way he snapped his fingers and Ragatha stopped glitching? Where is she getting her masks from? How is she getting them back? And, yeah, Jax is an absolute ass. Like, this guy... what an asshole. What a douchebag. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Oops, what am I doing? I feel like Jax is intentionally being a dick, just to distance himself from everyone, not get too attached because he's worried they're all gonna die, and, then he'll feel something for them when they're actually gone. The typical cliche of that. Because we did see at the end of the last episode, Jax did kind of pull back when it came to Kaufmo's funeral. Like, he didn't want to be part of that. Anyway, so, Jax throws Gango's mask through the mouth door. Kinger goes in to try to get it. He just goes right through. He just jumps right in. He's also still holding Pomni's eyes, which also pull Pomni in. Alright, back to the circus. Kane forcibly brings Zubul before him, because he couldn't find her, and asks why she won't play his games. And then he does a whole therapy session with her. Yeah, Kane is absolutely unhinged. He's crazier than I am. So Pomni and Kinger fall to a room with mounted heads on the walls, distorted, horrific versions of all of our characters' heads, and the head of a creature that we don't know of. A brand new creature's head. So, it's kind of one of those, like, horror mystery kind of games that Kane has cooked up for them. On the table, they play a tape by Mildenhall, the person named after the Mildenhall Manor, whatever. They play a tape recording left behind by Mildenhall, explaining how he hunted the creature. Well, they try to escape, but they are locked in. They try to open the door, but it's a brick wall on the other side. Backrooms movie style. So they need to find another way to get out. There is an elevator shaft, but it's locked, so they need to find a key. While Pomni searches, Kinger plays another tape, warning not to take your eyes off the creature's head. Kinger says that's some inconvenient lore placement, and I'm thinking the same thing. Wow, this would have been nice to have be the first thing you told our characters. That's some inconvenient lore placement. Well, I'm glad the show is self-aware. Yeah. So, Pomni does find the key, but then the lights go out. And then, as it's pitch black, we do see the character's eyes, but instead of 3D, this is a 2D animated section. It's actually kind of cool. But it's pitch black, we see both their set of eyes. There is a third set of eyes that lights up behind them. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty creepy. Seeing two sets of 2D eyes, and then a glowing set of 3D eyes behind them. Ooh, there's a Mime Jr. right there. But first, let's check the ones far away. So, the third set of eyes light up behind them, and it's the creature, who lights up every time screeching, and moves conveniently super slow. So the creature opens its mouth, showing its many eyes, and Kinger gets entranced. Legit just Pennywise's deadlights. Pomni, really frantically and really poorly, opens the lock, grabs Kinger to use the elevator to go up, only they go down. Well, that's always what you want out of a haunted house. Instead of going up, you go down. Alright, so back to Kane and Zubul. We find out why Zubul is so sad. She doesn't like herself. How her body comes apart. While Kane already, quote-unquote, solved this by giving Zubul more options of body parts to choose from. Yeah, well, that's not good enough. She hits him with the cold hard truth that no one likes his adventures. And this part is really interesting. Cain says making adventures is all he exists to do. It's all he's good at. And if she's saying he's not good at doing the one thing he's meant to do, Cain and the whole place starts glitching. You kind of just broke the computer program's mind. I don't know, that kind of furthers my theory that Cain... Holy shit, what is that? Damn it! That is not Alpha. Fuck! That's not Alpha! That's a shiny Mime Jr., but it's not Alpha, so the hunt continues. You know what I should do? I should save the game now. That way, when I catch everything to see if there's a second horde, I don't waste my Pokeballs. God, I hate Mime Jr. What? I hate Mr. Mime in this game. That was the wrong button to press. So yeah, Cain starts glitching, which further makes me believe Cain is probably an AI put here to keep everyone trapped. Either Cain is the person behind the digital circus, or he is an AI host put in. And, you know, when you break the machine's mind by telling him that your one purpose, your one programming, you don't do a good job at it, yeah, the whole place kind of falls apart. Anyway, so they continue the therapy session. Pomni and Kinger fall into a cellar. Which episode is this? This is episode 3. I said this last time too. I have seen no theories on this show. So everything I'm theorizing of, I am thinking of on my own. Is it? Isn't this episode 3? It should be. Man, so you're telling me you missed all the theories I mentioned last time? Okay, so there's nothing else here. Give me my shits back. Give me my balls back. Oh, speaking of balls, tonight's FIFA match was USA versus Bosnia. Now, me personally, I don't care about FIFA. But, and I also don't know who won tonight's game, if USA won or Bosnia won. But, you know, when I heard that it was USA versus someone else, I'm thinking to myself, who tonight is getting served some freedom? I don't know the results. So if Bosnia won, was Bosnia... Wait, no. If USA won, did Bosnia get served some freedom tonight? No offense, but sports just ain't my thing, you know? You know, I find no interest watching grown men playing with balls. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do like the vibe that comes with it, though. You know, the entire world coming together to watch something collectively that everyone is interested in, I suppose. Because even at work, they're playing the game on the big screen in the middle of the mall. They even put chairs up for anyone to sit and watch. And throughout work, I just hear cheers happening every now and then when someone scores. I hear clapping and cheering. Or if someone was close to scoring a goal, it's like, ah! Like a horde of people, a wave of despair. But if someone does score, like literally a sound wave of cheering. Pokeball only, remember that. I didn't bring Rapidash. My Rapidash has Hypnosis. Who needs Hypnosis? Anyways, where was I? Anyway, so Pomni and Kinger, they fall into a cellar. Not the cellar that we saw all the abstracted poor souls go to. They fell into a cellar where they find the body of Mildenhall with a shotgun. They also find a tape saying more lore. They take the gun from Mildenhall's body. With only 2 shots, Kinger shoots the creature's body and head. Because they were separated. But then after Kinger shoots them, the tape continues playing on its own, and turns out the creature is one of God's angels. And harming it will drag you to hell, where Mildenhall's soul resides. This was all a plot he devised to escape the realm of the damned and use their bodies as hosts. Kinger even points out, wait, if he's in hell, how did he record these tapes? Well, don't think about it too much, because arms come up and drag them down. Alright, we'll follow up with them later on. Ragatha and Gangle have tea with the ghost of Mildenhall's wife. They just sit down for a nice cup of cha. Also, they tied up Jax, knowing he's gonna fuck something up. So they just completely tied him up. Kane actually, or at least the voice of Kane, congrats them for taking the pacifist route. But they need to wait for the rest before they can go back. So Pomni and Kinger are in hell, like literal hell, where we see the air is filled with tiny souls. Kinger has an idea. He throws his eyeball forward, and he sees a staircase. Maybe it's a way out. So Pomni tries just getting it over with quick, just running through the hallway quick. But then she gets possessed by the souls. And then we get, like, we get nightmare fuel, a possessed, monstrous face Pomni. Kinger does pull her back, freeing her from the possession. And poor Pomni, she just breaks down over being stuck here. How whoever has trapped her here, probably Kane, is just feeding off of her suffering. So, Kinger, he suggests that they just relax for a moment. No monsters chasing them, no possession, just sit and relax for just a moment. Kinger goes over how he used to have a wife here. Unfortunately, she abstracted. But even in her completely insanity state, they were both inside of his pillow fort. They were both inside of his pillow fortress, where she actually seemed calm and sentient. You know, she was able to be touched one last time before being sent to the cellar. Pomni and Kinger actually share a really deep and touching moment here. Something I like about this show. It actually has some deep moments. Pomni does point out how Kinger, he's behaving differently than we know him to normally behave. I guess his sanity comes in and out. He does acknowledge that his memory isn't good, and that after all this, he probably won't remember any of this. But as long as Pomni remembers, that's all that's important. So Kinger has an idea. Maybe they can get past if they just don't breathe. So they hold hands, hold their breaths, and go through the souls. Pomni's face does change color, and Kinger glows, lighting up the path. They make it past the hallway of souls. They head up the stairs, meet back up with everyone else, and unfortunately, Kinger doesn't remember any of what just happened. Well, they beat the challenge, time to go home. So over at the circus, we get the roles reversed, and Zubul is listening to Kane's issues. But stops when everyone returns. Just like, hey Zubul, pretend we weren't just having a therapy session. Well, that's pretty much it. They return back. Jax asks Pomni, what was it like being stuck with the lunatic over there? And she's just like, it wasn't that bad, actually. And that's how the episode ends. No mention of the quote-unquote figurine thing from last episode. No mention of what that's about. Ooh, you have 6 more episodes to tell me what that figurine thing is. Otherwise, I'll be mad. You brought that up and you never explained what that is. You know what I'm having a pretty hard time really believing? Did I watch the trailer? I think I did. And now I don't remember what details were in the trailer. Maybe that's for the best. What, are all our characters gonna turn into Smash trophies? Is that what the figurine thing is? Meta jokes. What I'm really having a hard time grasping is this show really going to answer all the questions? About the internet and corn? You pussy, just say it. Say porn! Anyway, so is this episode... What? Is this show really going to explain all the questions? Because there's only 9 episodes. There's not going to be a season 2. And so far, I get it. The show is doing its own premise. You know, our characters are stuck here and they have episodic adventures. But there's a lot of questions that they have to answer. And with only 9 episodes and no season 2, I don't have faith that they're going to answer everything. You know, not only do they have to establish if our characters escape or not, they also have to answer who's responsible for this. Why did this even happen to begin with? Who is CNA? Maybe they're not as important, but where are our characters? Like, where are their bodies in real life? Are they in a hospital somewhere? All questions to be revealed. Hey, I doubt it. Like, even if they escape somehow, are we going to find out who the mastermind is? Will it be Kane? Will it be someone else? Because I don't think you even heard my theory last time. I was thinking, if Kane really is the mastermind behind this, first of all, he's doing a very poor job hiding it. And second of all, what if Kane is just a red herring? Because I theorized this last time. Either Kane is the person, the human, responsible for this, or because we saw at the end of the first episode, this really is just a glorified computer program. If Kane isn't human, if Kane is just an AI program put into this to keep our characters distracted, then if Kane's not the mastermind, perhaps another one of our characters is. Perhaps another one of our characters is the true culprit, the true mastermind, actually doing a good job hiding in plain sight. And well, first 2 episodes, Zubul wasn't really involved. But then this episode shat all over that theory, because we learn why Zubul doesn't involve herself in these adventures. Well, you can toss that theory out the window. I shan't be needing it. What other theories do I have? You know, I also mentioned last time, like, our characters established that they put on some weird headset, and then they ended up here. And if this show is anything similar to Sword Art Online, when they got trapped in the Entralink as well, then why is it only a handful of people who got trapped in here? Obviously, it was hinted that there has been more. There were more, but they all got abstracted, right? Like, if this is anything similar to Sword Art Online, and this is like a widely available headset product, shouldn't there be hundreds of people here? Why is there only like 6 of them? Well, more, you know? More that were abstracted. And then I suggested maybe this was like a chocolate factory golden ticket where only a handful were to be gifted out to some lucky winners or some unfortunate winners. Yeah, these are questions I highly doubt will be answered. I feel like all we're gonna get is them escaping and, at the most, finding out who is responsible for this. All these other questions I have, literally just a big middle finger to me, probably. Literally all will be revealed. Alright, and I also said this last time when, I guess you weren't listening. You will get your answers. Because I also mentioned, where are they? Like, the people in real life who put the headsets on, where are they? If their families realize that, oh no, they're not waking up, they're not, it's been days and they're not coming out of that, I'm sure whatever headset they have on, it's probably advised not to take it off while still connected. Because, like I said last time, that was the case with the framework in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that was the case with the Entralink in Sword Art Online, and we saw what happened to Angstrom Levy. But the thing is, in Sword Art Online, they were moved to hospitals that, you know, keep their bodies alive. I doubt the average home has IV bags and a heart monitor. So yeah, where are they? Where are the people's bodies? Wearing the headsets. Were they transported to hospitals to keep them alive while in a comatose state? I spat everywhere just now. And also, if they go back to real life, oh my god, I hate Mr. Mime in this game. If they're able to go back to reality and everyone is freed, including those who have abstracted, will they get their sanity back? Or do they completely lose their marbles in reality too? So much I want to say. I do have a question though. How accurate am I to the theories? All these years of people theorizing, how close am I to what people were saying for all these years? Do I have the same ideas that others do? No. No as in I'm not, or no you won't tell me. Basically. Who needs to watch theories when I can just come up with them myself? I hate this mime so much in this game. Because one detail from the first episode, the moment Pomni showed up, Kane went, "Oh my, another human has joined us." Now, if Kane was human himself, I doubt he would talk like that. You know, you don't see people on the street and be like, "Hello, fellow human. How are you?" Right? If Kane was human himself, I doubt he would say, "Another human has joined us." So that kind of leads me to believe he is not the mastermind behind this. He is not, I don't know, the CNA CEO behind this, and he is more likely a computer program put in. So, I do not believe Kane is human. And I feel like the obvious answer right at my face is that Kane, if not the culprit, then is part of the problem keeping them trapped here. Because can it be any more in your face? Kane said he has hundreds of eyes watching everything. Kane says he can control everything besides their minds. Can it be any more obvious? But I'm thinking, is it too obvious? Is it a red herring to distract us from another character hiding in plain sight who is the real culprit? Nah, what are the chances of that being the case? I feel like on the other side of the screen, No Shame in Feeding is about to burst. He wants to tell me so badly. His face is probably glowing red. He is hands on keyboard ready to type all the answers. But he has to restrain himself so hard not to tell me what's happening. Don't worry, buddy. 6 episodes left to go, and I will know everything. Or I'll know as much as the show will tell me. I doubt the show will tell me everything. Damn, 9 episodes, and they have established so many questions in just episode 1. I'm trying to think. I keep comparing this to Sword Art Online. What about... You guys remember Spy Kids 3D? How can I compare it to that? Oh, I also had a question too. Does time work the same way? We know that in the digital circus, time doesn't exactly have the same effect. There is no day-night cycle. I don't know, by chance, could our characters... You're not the guy. I'm not him. Could our characters have spent days, weeks, years here? But in reality, like 5 minutes has passed? Damn! An Alpha Mime Jr., but not shiny. I will do this. I will get what I want. Time dilation. What other things can I think about? What other theories can I think about? By the way, are there any shorts I should know about? I do see on the Glitch channel there are Digital Circus shorts. Do I need to pay attention to those? Watch anything in particular between episodes? Or are they just fun side stories that have no relevance to the overall plot? They're marketing stuff mostly. Ah yes, the Fortnite collab. Damn, now that I kind of know the characters, poor Gangle for not making it into Fortnite. And Ragatha too. You know, I mentioned this last time. There's a video floating around. I didn't watch it, but I did see the title. People hate Ragatha more than Jax. And I'm like, seriously? From what I've seen from the characters, how? Unless we're about to, you know, we're gonna break down Jax's walls and find out he is an absolute softie on the inside. People will hate anyone. Like, I don't know. Ragatha seems pretty lovable so far. She's kind, supportive, understanding. While Jax, on the other hand, he is an enormous douchebag. Like, he is reckless, he's inconsiderate, impulsive. Like, dude is just not it. And am I crazy? Why does Kaufmo's design look so familiar? Where have I seen that clown design before? That clown design looks so familiar. Anyway, so far we've seen we know at least of two others who were here but have abstracted. We know of Kaufmo and we know of Kinger's wife. But we also did see in the cellar that there were more. There were others. And that really makes me wonder, what is the point of this? Why trap people here? Oh, so many more. Why trap people here? And even make them forget who they are? None of our characters remember their names when they first arrive. What is the point of all this? Human test subject, seeing what can break the mind, what can cause them to go insane. Just how much does it take to break the human mind to insanity? And so far, from what I've seen, not a lot. All you simply do is trap someone in a place they can't escape from against their will with no memories. Well, seems like that's enough for Pomni to almost break. Oh boy, what did you send me? Why'd you send me Pomni eating a burger? Is this Tamagotchi life? Hmm. Why? One of these days, the odds are going to line up. It's going to spawn alpha and going to spawn shiny. One of these days, the odds are going to line up. And then I'm probably going to lose the 50-50 coin toss of it being male or female. I want specifically male because Mr. Mime, Mr. Rime, I'm going for specifically male. And if I get a female one, you can't stop me from keep on hunting until I get it. What the hell did you send me? Pomni, wake up, time to go on an adventure. Oh god, I see one comment that says here after episode 9. Yo, Jax really reminds me. Yo, stop reading the comments. Jax really reminds me of the rabbit from Silent Hill. Posted right after episode 1. Really? You know, the more I watch the show, I find it interesting that this has a fandom of absolute degenerates. Oh yeah, didn't the final episode leak? And everyone was mad at the creator? Carry over from their other works. What other works? Wait a second. Wow, this side is completely barren. Murder drones, I don't know what that is. Newgrounds people be like that. I'm very much clueless on what you were talking about. Can I get a shiny god? Nah. Murder Drones is another show Glitch made. I'm very surprised you don't know what Newgrounds is. Oh no, I know what Newgrounds is. I played Geometry Dash, didn't I? Remember. This was a long time ago, but this was the case at one point. I was top 100 players globally in Geometry Dash at one point. But then the update happened and the game became a platformer and not a side-scroller, so I stopped playing the game. Just wasn't the game I played anymore. Also, the game just stopped getting updates, so it just broke. It kept on having multiple glitches and just wasn't working. So I haven't played Geometry Dash in a long time. The update just changed the game too much. It's just not for me anymore. Yeah, I lost my top 100 spot long ago. I don't even know what ranking I'd be now. Well, we will end this soon for tonight. I would like to say I'll probably be able to stay home tomorrow, but I'm fully expecting to be called in for work tomorrow. Me with Pokemon. Yeah, you haven't played since the 3DS era. Like I said earlier, if now that PlayStation is moving to digital only, if Nintendo and Microsoft follow, which I'm pretty sure we all know Microsoft will, but if Nintendo follows, last event I did, I got top 90 in Canada and 100 global. Ah, look who's the celebrity now. Get a load of this guy saying he was top 100. He topped me by saying top 90. Anyway, so if Nintendo also follows and does digital only, no more physical, period, I literally will say, fuck gaming. I will not buy any more console games ever again if all of it is digital. Literally, except for the exception of Pokemon, and that's it. I literally would buy new Nintendo consoles just to play Pokemon, and that's it. Only other exceptions would be a super hyped Zelda or Mario game. But for the most part, I will literally stop buying all games, all console games, except for Pokemon. Don't think Nintendo will follow. Japan has a really big physical media thing. Well, you never know. Literally, in this world, the direction it's heading in, you actually don't know. Anything is possible. With Nintendo moving towards game key cards, I would actually not put it past them. And let's face it, Nintendo hasn't exactly made the best of decisions lately. Recently, they've been quite a shitty company. Hell, they set the bar for higher priced games and everyone else followed. If Sony set the bar for no more physical games, why won't Nintendo follow as well? So yeah, literally, if all of physical gaming dies, I will stop gaming. Like, I will stop buying new games. Pokemon literally being the only... Motherfuck, what now? What is it this time? It's another Mime Jr. Oh, shit. Shit. Wait. Do not flee. Oh no, did I fail this? Is it still in the grass? Okay, it's still in the grass. Because these things can run. Okay, I caught it. But not Alpha, so we continue. Well, that's 3 shinies today. What was I saying? Shaking my head, they need to remember the Wii U days. No, they need to remember the GameCube and Wii days when it was actually peak. Well, more so the Wii. I feel like Nintendo peaked at the Wii. And that was 20 years ago. At least close to 20 years ago. Christ almighty. So, no more physical games means no more gaming for this guy. Permanently, I will be backlog gaming. Except for new Pokemon games, because I need to. I will be continuing to support Game Freak's shitty, lazily, half-baked Pokemon games. But you know, I have just sunk in too much money and time into this franchise to just stop. I need to keep on adding to my living decks. I need to catch the new shinies. I need to not miss out on the event distributions. So, future generations of consoles will literally only be Nintendo just to play Pokemon. And on rare occasions, the hype brand new Mario or Zelda, and that's it. FOMO was one hell of a drug. Amen to that. I'll miss out on future Kirby games, which will suck. Oh yeah, and Smash. Smash is the only other exception where I will actually buy the console for that game. So Pokemon and Smash. Yeah, gaming is on the brink of collapse. Like, let's say, even if the gaming industry actually does collapse, like it just all crumbles and falls apart, what then? I don't see gaming just stopping right there. They will rebuild, but how? You know? They can't exactly just develop. I mean, they technically could, but they're gonna choose not to. You know? Develop smaller games and release them at cheaper prices. And when I mean small games, I mean small games. You know, it's like, how small you talking? Kirby Star Allies. But then, over time, the parasite that is greed will find its way back up to the surface. If they start off again with smaller games at cheaper prices, they're just going to develop more into the game, make it higher graphics, higher quality, charge more for it, and then we'll just end up right back where we started. You know, I don't necessarily need every game to keep on one-upping the previous one. You could literally have given me 10 Mario Galaxy games, and I would have bought them all happily. Well, no more gaming consoles for me. That means no GTA 6, no Persona 6. Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna do one more. One more quick run. And then I will call it for tonight. I do have to potentially wake up for work tomorrow. There's no guarantees, but may as well sleep to prepare for the rather high chance. Oh yeah, you want to know something? So my sister in August, literally the weekend of my. See, look, it's a good thing it's a good thing I chose to do this one more time. The weekend of my birthday. Crap, what has sight of me? The weekend of my birthday, my sister is taking a trip to the States for a concert. I don't exactly know where, but it is a BTS concert. So she told me, you need to tell the new job that the week of your birthday you can't work there. You know, the ending the final week of August, you can't work there because your sister will be away at a concert. So you need to fill in for her. And I just told my sister, if off chance my coworker has her kid early and I have no choice but to work there, we are fucked over here. Because she's not expected to deliver until around September, but you never know. It's not impossible she could deliver early for whatever reason. So if the prediction is around September, it's not impossible for near the end of August. I'm just saying. I hope you guys out there are hydrating. It was... What?! Two shinies back to back! I'm glad I got that on footage. I hope you guys are hydrating out there, because these past 2 days have been super hot. Two shinies back to back! I'm really glad I decided to do one more run. Just no alpha. You're right, not alpha shinies. L. These things are worthless. Back when I played a lot, I killed some shinies during horde battles. Too hard to catch. You monster. I'll do it again. Maybe it's a good thing you stopped playing. Okay, so no... Not what we're looking for this time. But I'm on a roll. Let me go double check if that Alpha Infernape is shiny by chance. No. One day I will get you shiny. Shit. And you know what else? There's a Wurmple Outbreak right there. Outbreaks have an even higher chance of shiny, so let's just take a look. I'm not going to catch anything, I'm just going to look at the initial spawns. No. Look at that! 2 shiny Luxios. Oh, by the way, so I did spend pretty much all my money, as you may have noticed. I did spend all my money to upgrade my bag inventory. It turns out I don't have enough money to max it out. The amount of money I spent is like half of the amount you would spend in total to get all of them. I will probably never max out all of my item slots, because I will probably never get that amount of money. Like, damn, it took the entire time of me playing this game to make enough money to get to here. And I need to make all that amount again just to upgrade this to max? Let's face it, that ain't happening. Okay, well, I'm gonna call it for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.